So welcome back to our YouTube channel here at Dream House Hunters, and today I'd like to introduce Magali, and I also have Miss Kelly here, and of course Miss Sandra, and we're going to go over a couple things when it comes down to title. So first question is, what is title, and what is the benefit of using title for a buyer?
Title is very important in a real estate transaction. It's a type of insurance we cover from the date of closing prior. We make sure that the seller has the power to sell the property and that there's no liens against the property. We make sure the seller has the right to sell the property and that there are no liens against the property. And if there is, they are paid off at closing.
Perfect. And what is the importance of having those liens paid off for a buyer? What does that do for them for the purchase of the house?
Once the buyer takes over the home, they are then responsible for any liens on the property that have not been paid. So they will never be able to sell it without paying those liens off that exist on the property.
Now, in regards of liens, what are some liens that you usually see, or just examples so buyers are pretty much aware?
One of the common ones is a mortgage. You have a mortgage on the property. A lot of sellers get scared when you hear the word lien, but it's your mortgage that you pay. Some of them are tax liens that never go away. And lately, there's solar panels and the water softeners. So,
we were just talking about solar panels. That's why we laughed. We were just talking about solar panels.
Yeah.
Wow. We were talking about that yesterday. Yes, we had a contracts class yesterday. So my question to you is, I get asked this by a lot of the buyers, is what is title insurance? Why? What is it? And what purpose does it serve?
Would you like to? Well, we kind of answered that a little bit already. Insuring against anything missed or put against the property.
So that insurance basically lets the buyer, like something happens, that insurance basically protects the buyer. They don't have to be responsible, quote unquote, because they have insurance. Basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
For things such as liens.
Liens. If the rightful owner, you have sometimes situations where people pass away and people think they have the right to sell and they don't. Mm-hmm. And if you don't close at a title company, that gets missed. So later on down the road, when you try to sell the property, it's when it becomes an issue, because you'll go at that time to a title company and you find out that the person selling isn't the legal owner of the property.
That's right. And it's because you all have an in-house attorney, right? That helps you look through the documents and see if there's any discrepancies with ownership, liens, and all that, right? Is that
correct? Yes. And we have a good team of examiners who examine the property. Most of the time, surveys are also examined to make sure that the property you're selling is the property on the survey.
That's right. And that's a conversation that we had in a training yesterday about the survey. They advise us that even though there's a survey in place, they recommend that you get your own survey, just because things change. And so I thought that was very interesting. Yes.
I never thought about, when you think about it, it's like a no-brainer, but
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do, because stuff changes. Yeah. When I first started, you couldn't use an existing survey for a resale. You could for a refinance, but not for a resale. And since it's been allowed, there have been mistakes. And sadly, it'll fall back and most likely to the seller of the property.
Mm-hmm. And also, Sandra, we underwrite with 8 underwriters. So when it comes to insurability, we have many options depending on how difficult the situation is.
Okay, wonderful.
What should a buyer be prepared for on the day of closing when it comes to title company?
If they have a lender, the lender dictates the fees and what to bring to closing. They get the amounts from us also. Picture identification, good funds, no cash. So a cashier's
not
check.
A bag of cash?
No,
we do not hold
no briefcases of cash anymore. So cashier's check, wires. There's a lot of wire fraud right now, so we do send out many emails stating that.
And it's an exciting day, so
Definitely.
we want them to come, have a nice time, take pictures, and celebrate. They celebrate the
It's a
day.
huge celebration. I like to tell my clients, I'm like, listen, just make sure you have a full meal, bring extra pens,
Yeah.
bring you a notebook, bring the questions you may have,
Yeah.
and then just make sure that you're there on time. They're like, what do you? I'm like, it might be a long process, it may
might
not
be.
be, but just be prepared.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of sitting somewhere and being hungry. I'm like, I can't think.
Right,
Still make sure you eat
exactly.
a nice little breakfast.
And we have snacks.
Snacks.
We have
yes, yes.
drinks and things like that.
And sometimes things are out of the control and it's nobody's fault. So
Exactly.
closing is going to take maybe longer than an hour,
Right.
sometimes two, especially at the end of the month, end of the year. Everybody's trying to get closed and the lender's backed up, to fund us.
Mhm.
So just be prepared. Just take a little while.
Absolutely.
And we have a very experienced and amazing team, and they work hard to make sure everything is prepared and that they're only here as long as they absolutely need to be.
Perfect. And I want to thank you guys for your time because I know we've taken a little bit of time, and I want to give you guys some time to kind of introduce yourselves a little bit more. Tell me a little bit about where you guys are located, how long you guys have been open, all that good stuff.
So, okay. My name is Magali Mulhern. I've been doing title since 1998. We are located in the Woodlands, and we speak Spanish. Hablamos español.
That's really good. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And we do have attorneys on staff that will help. Most everything can be fixed. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of time.
Love that.
Okay.
And Miss Kelly, I'm going to pass to you too to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Kelly Sandoval, and I'm the business development representative here at our Woodlands location. And I have been in the business for about 18 years. So
So you guys are
we have a very experienced
We do.
team
Very experienced.
here at this location,
Yes.
and we're happy to serve.
Yes.
So
Thank you guys for joining us. Just a little tidbit on who we work with. Title company. Remember, before when you go under contract, buyers, you are protected by your title company. Obviously, it's a seller who chooses most often the title company, but you want to make sure that you work with a title company so that there aren't any liens, so that the title of the property is clear and ready for you to purchase and move right in.
and a great realtor.
Yes.
Realtor.
A must. It's a must.
Wonderful. Thank